The Medical Missionary Manual, Chapter 23, Health and Medical Missionary Stories in the Bible. 1. Genesis 1 to 2. The diet given by God is the original diet. 2. Genesis 2. The original occupation. 3. Genesis 3. The point upon which man fell. 4. Genesis 6 verse 9, Matthew 24 verse 38, Luke 17 verses 26 to 30, why the flood came. 5. Genesis 18 to 19, Ezekiel 16 verse 49, Luke 17 verses 26 to 30, the sin of Sodom is the sin of our age. 6. Genesis 27, Hebrews 12 verses 16 to 17, the weakness of Esau, the man who valued food more than God. 7. Exodus 16, Joshua 5 verses 11 to 12, Psalm 78 verse 25, Nehemiah 9 verse 15, the simple diet God gave to prepare man for Canaan, the food that angels give. 8. Exodus 25 verse 8, 1 Corinthians 3 verses 16 and 17, and chapter 6 verses 19 to 20. Let them make me a sanctuary, that I might dwell among them. 9. Exodus 32, worshipping a golden calf leads to death. 10. Leviticus 1 to 9, the offerings of the sanctuary. 11. Leviticus 11, Leviticus 7 verses 23 to 27, Deuteronomy 14, the divinely given pure food laws. God wants his people to live clean. 12. Leviticus 12 to 20, touch not the unclean, the laws of cleanliness. 13. Numbers 11 verses 4 to 33, Psalm 106 verses 14 to 15, the lesson of the quail, rebelling against God's plan. 14. Numbers 21, John 3 verses 14 to 15, Deuteronomy 30 verses 19 to 20, the brazen serpent. 15. Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26, the blessings and the cursings. Obedience alone brings health. 16. 1 Samuel 2 verses 12 to 17 and 22, sons of Eli, the sons of Belial. 17. Judges 13 to 16, the weakness of Samson was the lack of self-control. 18. 1 Kings 11, the fall of Solomon. In the Pacific Health Journal, The Apostasy of Solomon, August 1899, E.G. White explains how the fall of Solomon came in 3 stages. First, eating the third meal. Second, alcoholic beverages. Third, polygamy. It was customary for the Hebrews to eat but twice a day, their heartiest meal coming not far from the middle of the day. 19. 1 Kings 17 to 21, a translation diet, the example of Elijah. 20. 2 Kings 2 verses 19 to 22, purifying the springs and healing through the simple agencies of nature. 21. 2 Kings 5 verses 5 to 15, the cleansing of Naaman is a lesson in God's method of healing. 22. Esther, feasting and fasting during the time of Esther and Ahasuerus. 23. Isaiah 58, God's message to his remnant church. 24. Isaiah 65 verses 3 to 5, Isaiah 66 verses 15 to 17, Isaiah 33 verses 14 to 17, health reform at the time of the second advent. 25. Revelation 22 verses 1 to 3, Isaiah 33 verses 24, 35 verse 5, 6 and 10, health reform practiced in heaven. 26. Ezekiel 47, the healing waters. 27. Daniel 1, prove us now. Dare to have Daniel's courage and Daniel's diet. 28. Matthew 4 verses 1 to 4, Luke 4 verses 1 to 4, 1 Corinthians 15 verses 45 to 47, Romans 5 verses 12 to 19, the temptation of Jesus. 29. Luke 4 verses 17 to 21, the mission of Jesus, the work God gave to his Son. 30. Matthew 4 verses 23 to 25, Matthew 8 verses 16 to 17, Matthew 9 verses 35 to 36, Matthew 14 verses 13 to 14, Matthew 15, Romans 5 verses 12 to 19, the example of Jesus. 31. Luke 11, Isaiah 61, why Jesus was sent. 32. Matthew 11 verses 2 to 6, Ministry of Healing pages 34 to 37, Jesus' credentials. 33. Matthew 10, the First Commission. 34. Matthew 28 verses 18 to 20, Mark 16 verses 15 to 20, the Great Commission to all Jesus' followers. 35. Luke 10, the Good Samaritan. 36. John 6 verse 13, Matthew 26, Luke 22, Mark 14, 1 Corinthians 11, you are what you eat, both physically and spiritually. 37. Acts 3, staying in the Master's steps. 38. 1 Corinthians 5, purity amongst God's people. 39. James, a letter to the remnant.